Kate, can you hear me? Therese, can you hear me? You're muted. Can you unmute and talk so I can see how you sound?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
That's great. That's perfect. Chad, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
And Kate Reynolds, do we know who she is?
Yes, Kate Reynolds is the director of the Executive Ethics Board, one of the parties.
Does she need to be in here? Will she be speaking or should she be observing?
She's just an observer.
Okay, she needs to go on the invite. I gave you a stream that she could go check.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell her I'm going to kick her out basically. And I'll ask her to go to observe on that screen.
Okay.
She kicked herself out. Good girl. All right, let me get the judge and we'll be ready. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. Court is reconvened. Judge, you're muted.
Sorry. State of Washington Executive Ethics Board versus Ferreria, cause number 202-043-562. If I can get each party to state your name for the record, please.
Therese Ferreria.
This is Chad Stanifer, Assistant Attorney General, appearing for the Executive Ethics Board.
All right. So here for the hearing on this matter, Ms. Ferreria, it's your appeal. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a PowerPoint. Is it okay if I use that?
Well, have you supplied that to the other side?
It has all the information that's in all the documents that I provided. It's just, it's the same information.
Okay. I'm just saying, typically when I allow PowerPoints, I require that to at least be sent to the other side. Are you able to email that to Mr. Standifer?
Yes.
Okay.
How do I go out of the screen to?
You can exit full screen. You should be able to exit full screen, and then you can be able to get to everything you need. So if you.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Should I send a copy to the court as well?
Yes, please do. Please send a copy to Ms. Rutten.
Okay. So that's SANDI.
Well, that's happening. Can I ask a question, Your Honor?
Yes.
My client was trying to observe the hearing, and she's trying to figure out, would she just go onto the Pierce County Court's website and try to find the live stream, or?
Yeah, if you go on the very first page of if she goes to Pierce County Superior Court website, there's on the main page, it says live courtroom feeds. And if you click on that, there'll be a list of all the judges and can just click next to my name. It says watch, and then this hearing will come right up.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, how do I go back to, oh, full screen? Okay, got it. Sandy, did you receive the email with the attachment? Mr. Standifer, have you received the attachment?
Let me check. I don't see it in my inbox yet, but let me try it one more time here.
I also sent to Sandy.
Okay, Ms. Rutten, have you received it?
The court has received it. Yes, thank you.
I do now have it.
Okay. It says host disabled participant screen sharing. So if you could allow the screen sharing, that would be great.
Actually, if you're sending me a copy, then because I prefer to look at the people that are arguing. So I don't like things to cover up the screen. So
Oh,
if you
okay.
send it to me, then I will have it so I can look at it
Oh,
on
okay,
a different part
great.
of my screen.
Okay.
Judge, I've forwarded it to you, so she does not need to do anything.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
Just give me a moment, please.
Okay.
Your Honor, our hearing does not seem to be streaming on YouTube, although it says it is. So if the other party would like to come back here, I can let her in so she can observe.
All right. Did you hear that, Mr. Sandifer?
I was on mute. Yes, I did. I will let her know. Thank you.
All right. So you forwarded that to me, Ms. Rutten?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because I'm still waiting to receive it. Okay, I'm still waiting. So does it show in your sent items?
I'm sorry, were you asking me or?
I'm asking Ms. Rutten.
Oh, okay.
I did send it. You did not get it yet? Yeah, I can send it again.
Yeah, I have not gotten it. All right, I have received it so I can follow along with you, so proceed.
Okay. Your Honor, I was a 35-year state employee with no personnel issues and no disciplinary action until the case that's before this court.
So let me stop you. So I saw that in your briefing. Help me understand why that's relevant. Because I mean, the issue is, as I understand this before me, is whether you violated these certain rules on a certain day, right? So help me understand from a legal point of view, whether you've been a perfect employee or a non-perfect employee going prior to that, why legally that makes a difference.
I was just trying to provide the court with some background because I don't know what has been reviewed in the documents that I provided. So, so this case was started with a single allegation that I attended an out-of-state training in 2017 without submitting leave. The March 2016 training was disclosed during my investigative interview and would not have otherwise been known. I was reprimanded based on these allegations. I filed a grievance contesting the content and the action because there were a lot of issues with that. I met in person with a labor relations specialist by the name of Joe Ruiz Jr. That was on January 23rd of 2018, and I never heard back from him. I was never notified of what happened to the grievance that I had filed. My understanding is that the Executive Ethics Board relied primarily on statements made by Dan Ashby, many of which were false.
Okay, let me stop you there. Let me ask questions about that. So on that issue, what is the evidence you have that the statements were false? In other words, well, and more importantly, what's in the records? So does your declaration from below, are you saying contest some specific statements of Dan Ashby?
Yes, and those are included in my in both of my briefs. So,
Okay. So I want to make sure I understand though, what specifically are the statements that you're claiming of Mr. Ashby's that are false?
okay, Mr. Ashby, along with Jenny Hedden and Shannon Mathis, claimed that the Child and Family Services Review training that I attended was not related to my job. Mr. Ashby also claimed that the feds used me as a reviewer. When I had never worked for the feds as a reviewer, I was always an advocate for the state in these federal audits, these federal reviews.
So let me stop you because I have lots of questions when people argue in front of me. So this will happen quite frequently. So you said Mr. Ashby said that this was not related to your job. So help me understand the relevance of that, because as I understand the allegation against you, it was that you went to this training without permission, right?
That I had an issue with that also because in the administrative record there are a lot of there's a lot of information that counters that. Particularly.
Wait. You need to stay. Just answer my questions, please. Okay. But that was the allegation, was it not? That you went to this 2017 training without permission.
That was the allegation. Yes.
Okay. So as I understand it, that it was Mr. Ashby's statement that the reason he didn't authorize the March 2017 training was because he did not believe it was a benefit or was specifically related to your job. Is that correct? As to what he stated his reason?
Yeah, his statement is false.
Well, but no, that's not my question. But that was his statement. Here's what I'm trying to understand is, I'm trying to understand, you're saying, well, I disagree that it was not related to my job. And I'm trying to understand the relevance of that. If the claim is that you didn't get permission, then it seems to me that the issue is, is that true or not? I mean, you're saying if you're talking about why, well, here's why I didn't get permission, I'm not sure you can help me out by explaining to me the relevance of that. In other words, the key issue seems to be whether you did or didn't get permission, not the reasons therefore. So help me understand that.
Okay, that was not the way the process worked in our unit with myself or Mr. Ensley. Mr. Ashby stated himself that all of his direct reports work independently and then made him aware of everything that we're working on, which I did on March 17th. The way that things worked is I was expected to manage my program, and I would arrange for, plan, and organize all of my trainings for staff and for myself, and I would let Mr. Ashby know. The requirement that he had for me was that he have full access to my Outlook calendar, and myself and Mr. Ensley would run our programs, plan and organize training, and make sure that it was on our Outlook calendar so Ashby could look at that and see exactly what we were working on every single day of the week.
Okay, so let me help me understand this though. So let me take everything you've just said at face value. If the way that you say that Mr. Ashby was running this department, if those protocols that you referenced were contrary to law, then does that provide relief to you? In other words, I mean, what I'm trying to understand is if I accept everything that you're saying, but that was still contrary to what the law requires, does that provide some sort of legal justification for your actions?